Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own forms instead of the paper forms, the paper and whatever forms that you just buy on a big roll. I'm going to show you how to make them that will do this. Now of course I'm not as skilled as you may be just in shaping and forming in general, but I use these little forms that I made in desperation during COVID when people were buying up all the paper forms and I couldn't find any, or I couldn't afford to pay what they wanted. So this is what we're going to need. You're going to need some smoothie straws. Sometimes they're also known as shake straws or bubble tea straws. I think bubble tea straws may be a little bigger. I'm not really sure. I don't have any to experiment with. Here's a normal straw. It's kind of long, but it's still the size that you would expect for a drinking straw. I know drinking straws are evil. I've stopped buying them, but I already had these in my cupboard. So we don't need a regular one. Those won't work. What you're going to need is the smoothie straws. They are pretty big around. See? Right. So you're going to need a pair of scissors. Sharp scissors are best, as always, but you could probably make it work with even some slightly dull scissors. You're going to need some duct tape of some kind, because that's how it attaches to our finger. This is the stuff I normally use, this rainbow, but for reasons I'm not even going to go into right now, we're going to use one of the other ones. This is duct tape, or duck, actually, D-U-C-K. This is the brand Duck Tape. You can use that. I have this pretty hollow tape I got from a Dollar Tree. I don't think I've really used it for anything yet. Let me see, is it sticky enough? Oh, it sure is. And that's it. 3 things. I'm going to go ahead and pull off a piece of this that is about maybe 5 inches long. I'm going to have to go around my finger 1.5 times. Oh, heck. There. Coming from the other side. Can you hear the nice jazz? It's some ambiance type stuff. I'm hoping it's not copywritten or copyrighted. I gotta get with copywritten. Turn it up a little. All right, keep that nearby. Take your tape. Sometimes I dull up one end of it. Gosh, that's sticky. Like put it on something fuzzy or touch it a bunch with my nasty old hands and get it where it's not so sticky on that end. Like I said, I've not worked with this particular roll of tape before, so this is slightly different for me. This is generic, fancy, pretty tape that I'm sure would not work for ducks or ducts. But I'm hoping it'll work for our nails. Oh no, that's maybe 8. Usually I get about 8 out of it. Take your tape roll. You may need to get a tape roll. It's just for you, just for your nails. And put it back on. Lining it up as carefully as I can. And I just don't even press down that end. It's still super sticky. Heck, I guess you could, if you really wanted to, you could go like that too. Right? Because I hate trying to, pick something off. So, gosh, this is sticky. Now, I'm going to set that aside. Take my scissors, my straw. This straw needs to be cut into thirds. I'm just going to kind of fold it so I can make sure I get it. I want to get 3 out of this one, so. Yeah, gosh, okay. I could measure it properly and mark it with a marker or a crayon. I think a crayon would work okay on this. Being a straw, it's very slippery. I don't know if you've ever noticed. Straws are very slippery, which makes them perfect for this because the acrylic does not stick to it. It just sits on top of it. Now, Yeah, what was I going to say about these? Yeah, the acrylic sits on top. It won't stick to it. Sometimes people use these. They'll slit it open. Here, I'll show you. This is the first step anyway, so. And this is where I got the idea for doing it this way, was people who were using them for nail tips. I crease one side, just the one side. Sometimes I even hold it a little bit just so I can have a straight line to use as a guide, because I want to get a really straight cut. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna get rid of those for now. Sometimes I've been doing, I'll take different sizes or different colors out of the box and use them for different lengths, so I know I can reach in and grab all the orange ones if I want to do whatever length. Now, here's the deal, kids. You are bigger and stronger than this straw. Every time you let go of it, it's going to go back to that. So just manhandle it. You own the straw. You can do what you want with it. It's not going to break. Now, you're going to be cutting a U shape in here. And the bits of plastic that are left on the sides are what's going to go up the sides here. And I want it to come up about midway between these two knuckles. So I can kind of figure that. And I see, okay, I need to cut it to about there. I'm going to cut right down the center, close as I can figure to the center. And now I'm going to really flatten that out as best I can. I'm going to take a little, trying to get close so you can see, a little snip. And then I'm just going to continue it on up to just a little bit below this center one, because we're going to make a U shape. So I'm going to come over here, do it to this other side. I love jazz. Love it. Love it. Makes me feel very mellow. Okay. Now I'm going to come in. That one's a little bit thinner than I normally like it, but it'll be all right. Come in, and because my fingers are shaped the way they are, I usually have to do it almost more like a V shape. And there's lots of, having to snip a little more and snip a little more to get it just right. See how that is? This looks nasty. I assure you, it's just from the last acrylic that I did. It stained my nails, the two nails that I did with a brown base and gold over them. It just did. Tuck it up under my terrible looking nail. Can you see these parts on the side come up? And that's where we will wrap our tape, but we're not done yet. So, and I feel like that fits pretty well. I may cut it out a little bit more in the middle so it comes up on these sides just a little bit more. Little bitty bit more. Cut it out just a little more. Try to get it in the middle, because if you don't, then it's going to be your nail will be crooked and all cockeyed. Well, it still doesn't look quite right, but for the sake of argument, and it will probably work, actually. Now we're going to turn it around and work on this free edge. Now, because I like coffin shapes and stilettos, these are almost stilettos, but they're really just a nice narrow coffin. I'm going to need this end to be narrow like that, you see? So that means I'm going to have to do a little taping right on the end, and all of that's just bulk. I mean, I don't need that, because I just want a nice dainty narrow tip. So again, I'm going to fold it out, hold it like that, and about the same width that I cut these, about the same width as that. I'm going to come in, and I'm going to do it at an angle, at a slant, and cut some off. And I know I need a little bit more. Being careful to cut the same amount from the other side. Snippity snip. Now, how does that look? Is it lining up with our center here? Not quite. This side needs a little more snippage. That may have been too much. Oh no, what have I done? Okay, normally I would throw that out and start again, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to crimp that just a little bit, just using my fingers. I think this will be fine. Truly, truly fine. So I bring the end together. Now, sometimes I just curl it tightly, like that. Sometimes I actually pinch it, and it makes a nicer, more sharper line, but it will also make my nail have kind of a ridge, which is a cool look. It's kind of gothy and witchy, and I like it. Now this is where our tape comes in. I want you to get just a little bit, little edge of that. And if this works like normal duct tape, yes, howdy. So I really only need a very small amount for the end. I will just snip a little. The rest of that I can probably use on my finger. This is a large piece for the job, but you know, better too much than not enough. I try it multiple times on my finger to make sure it's gonna sit right. There we go. Take my tape and place it where it's sticking up a little bit. It's not flush with the edge of the straw. I'm going to go around and around and around, or I could snip it. But why snip it when I can be excessive? There. Now you see it's all flappy doodled over on the back, but when you put your finger in, it spreads. Just like that. So now we're getting ready to do our nails and cover up this awful brownness. Get my tape. I think this piece will be long enough. I'm just gonna hold that. Tape the one side. Make sure that it's lined up the way I want it. I'm gonna come around the other side. But I'm out of frame. I've done this video 3 times now, and I keep getting out of frame. It's ridiculous. There you go. Well, that was a little loose. It needed to be scooched back just a little bit. See if I can pull it. There. Now I am ready to build. Ta-da! Sweet! And when I am done, I will remove the tape. Simple as that. The tape gets tossed. This will have a big mess on it because I'm a messy nail builder, and I just scrape it off. It just comes right off. So that's it. That's how you make your nail forms and use them over and over and over. The only time I've had to replace them is when I cut it too thin right in here, and then I pulled the tape off and it tore the, whatever you would call that little spot. So make sure to leave that, leave that wide enough that it's not going to tear easily. And there you go. Have fun. Bye.